Hi there, Hilary here, and today I want to just talk about osteoporosis because this is the start of my journey with osteoporosis. I broke my foot in August and just tripping on the stairs, a very slight little twist of the foot, and I broke it. Just one of the bones, nothing dramatic. And on the back of that, they decided to give me a bone scan because I'm 53 years old. So women of kind of menopausal age, I think if they break a bone, it's kind of standard procedure to bring them in for, I think they call it a DXA scan. So on Monday last week, in fact 2 weeks ago now, the 15th of October, I went into the hospital and had a bone scan, and she immediately told me that I had osteoporosis, and she was really surprised about it, particularly because of my age. She said it was particularly bad. For those of you who don't know much about this bone scan, which I didn't, they scan you basically lie on a bed and this kind of machine kind of comes over you, a bit like a sort of X-ray or MRI scan, I suppose. They look at your hip and your spine because there's two different types of bone in our body, and apparently the hip and the spine represent those two different types of bone. So my hip bone, and I need to look into what types of bone they represent because I'm just a novice at this at the moment, was osteopenic, which is below normal bone density, but it's not osteoporotic. But my spine was osteoporotic, and she said that the density of my spine was very, very low for somebody of my age. In fact, she just wouldn't expect to see that kind of low density in somebody of my age. So I have got to follow up by going to the GP. They also, on the back of that, took a blood test for vitamin D. I think they also took a blood test for some other bits and pieces because they took about 5 vials of the blood. And I don't have private health care anymore, so I have got to wait for those to get to the GP. So I've got an appointment next week with the GP to see what they want to do with me. And I am trying to spend some time looking into the different alternatives on not reversing osteoporosis, well, maybe, but obviously sort of slowing it down or stopping it getting any worse, which obviously includes weight-bearing exercise, diet, and the different drugs that you can take. Now, obviously, there's different supplements, and I'm learning quite a bit about that at the moment, and some contradictions, as always. Good old Google and YouTube. Obviously, it's great and it's got the most amazing amount of information at your fingertips, but there are people that contradict each other. So I'm looking into that, and I'm also looking into the drugs that they have said that they would probably want to put me on, which I think are called bisphosphonates, and there's some bad press about that as well. So I'm going to learn a little bit more about it. I'm actually going to a 4 or 5 hour sort of session I was invited to on the back of being diagnosed tomorrow, Monday, at the hospital, where various different people come and talk about nutrition and exercise and health and things like that. So yeah, I've just got to really, I want to start documenting my journey, and obviously talking about what I'm learning about it, and obviously anything that I can pass on to anybody. One very important factor in this, which I've omitted to tell you, is that I have suffered from bulimia for about 36 years. So that, along with taking the pill for probably about 25 years, something like that, and an early menopause are all causes of osteoporosis, or can be. And also my mum had osteoporosis, which is relevant, and also alcohol. And I do drink wine. I've never smoked. So yeah, so a combination of things, but they reckon that the biggest factors were the bulimia and the pill and the early menopause. So I shall keep you informed with my hopefully more knowledge than I'm offering you in this video, but this is just an introduction to sort of tell you where I'm at with it. All right.